Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, I'll be talking about Doctor Who once again with the news that just came out in the last couple of days that Alex Kingston is going to be reprising her role as Professor River Song in the upcoming 2015 Christmas special of Doctor Who, right alongside Peter Capaldi's 12th Doctor. And, the impetus behind this video is kind of the fact that I'm seeing a largely negative reaction to this, sort of knee-jerk reaction, and a lot of Moffat hate and everything, which is just rampant this day and age. It's been for some time, and I don't get it. Personally, I just don't get it. I've been, I'm somebody, if you look at my backlog of Doctor Who related videos, I'm somebody who's been on both sides of that aisle. I have championed Moffat and the things he has done. Look at Series 5, one of my favorite all-time of these modern series. Series 8 is right, sort of in line with that, being Peter Capaldi's inaugural run as the 12th Doctor, and Clara and everything like that. Of course, you have the Clara haters, you have the Moffat haters, you have the River Song haters, and everything like that. And so some people are a little dismayed about it, and kind of maybe taking it a few steps too far, getting disgruntled and just raging about it. And it's kind of like, it's a freaking show. It's entertainment to be enjoyed. There are so many different, opportunities that bringing this character back, probably for a one-off event, that could be very intriguing with this particular incarnation of the Doctor. Very ornery, the angry eyebrows Doctor and everything. And I think maybe what is giving people the apprehension and the negative sort of, knee-jerk reaction is because they don't want the playful romantic banter crap and everything like that, which I think was, played to its end, basically. For all intents and purposes, we have seen so much of this character, so much of her timey-wimey timeline, so it's like, at this point, what exactly, what more do we have that we can do and explore with this character? And I'd personally love to see maybe the darker side of the character at a point, maybe in between her waking up to realizing the Doctor would one day be her husband, falling in love, and they get married, and yada, yada, yada. Less of maybe the flirty, flirtatious crap. I mean, I'm kind of done with that myself, so on that level, I can see where people are kind of coming from. I'm somebody, as I say, when Moffat has done things that have disappointed me, building up to the 50th, I was championing time and time again, let's see some classic Doctor actors in this thing. And when I realized, this was probably just beating a dead horse and it wouldn't get us anywhere, I said, in precursor to it, if we at least have Paul McGann, Tom Baker, if we have a really entertaining, intriguing story to do, with featuring basically David Tennant, Billy Piper, the War Doctor, John Hurt, made me just entranced by the story, with the garnish of Tom Baker and, Paul McGann, I would at least be satisfied, bare minimum. And I got that. So I really can't complain, even though it's not what I wanted necessarily. I would have loved to have seen Eccleston and Davison and, McCoy and, Baker and everything. That is to say, the other Baker, Cullen. I would have loved to see these actors reprising their role. I am also somebody who has championed time and time again. I want to see, Ian Chesterton, William Russell show up in the series again. Why couldn't we have had this in the 50th when we're in Coal Hill School? We've been in there in Series 8 and everything. I would love to see Carol Ann Ford's Susan Foreman. I posted over on Facebook saying, well, this is interesting, meaning River Song's coming back for Christmas. I don't suppose we'll get to see, the Doctor's granddaughter at some point too as well. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, because that's something I desperately want. Even if it's a regeneration or something like that, maybe that'll happen eventually. It seems like Peter Capaldi himself is championing for that. It would be the perfect time, but, remains to be seen whether we'll get that or not. But the point is to say, I've called out Moffat whenever he has done something less than stellar or that I wasn't that happy with. I have already noted that Series 5 in its entirety and Series 8 are two of my favorites in the modern era of Doctor Who. And when you look at Series 6 and Series 7, that's more where I find certain problems and issues I have when I go back to it. The whole Madame Convarian thing, appearing in different episodes. If you look at The Curse of the Black Spot, this is an episode I've talked about in videos previous, where it just kind of takes me out of the story when I want to just go back and revisit that one episode, and you have the entire momentum of the episode having to stop so that we see Convarian, and then if I'm watching it with somebody who doesn't get it or doesn't remember the story, I have to sit there for half an hour explaining it. It's like just taking the wind out of my sails. So there are different things breaking those series up. While it was much more affordable for me to get it on DVD because I could buy it in half, half of Series 6, Parts 1 and 2 basically, and then same with Series 7. In doing that, it's just like, I don't look back on those series as being one complete series in my mind. I still see it as two halves and being two kind of different halves as well. You look at the pawns and everything like that, talking about the romantic, flirtatious, domestic aspect being brought into the TARDIS by force or whatever you want to call it. And there were aspects of that. I made a video sort of complaining about like, oh geez, we're going to have them breaking up in the TARDIS going into Series 7 and everything. And like, they kind of outstayed their welcome to a point. But I liked those characters, so I could palate it and everything. And even if I didn't like the romantic and relationship drama and stuff like that, but you have to have a little of that every now and then because, it just adds sort of a level of pathos to the viewer, especially younger viewers. And, it's a broader audience that the show is appealing to, not just the hardcore Whovians, which I consider myself one because I've watched so much of the classic series and I've eaten it up and I've loved it and I love so many aspects of it. Same with the modern series. So I kind of consider myself loosely a hardcore Whovian, but I feel like I'm a progressive Whovian because I don't bang on and on and on about all the things that disappointed me or the negative aspects. The 50th is what it is. It is what it was. And I'm not going to sit here complaining. I'm going to complain, progressively toward the future, to the evolution of the future of Doctor Who. Why can't we have these things to come rather than look at what happened in the past, And with the River Song character, here is a character who has had a timey-wimey relationship with the Doctor. We don't know exactly in what capacity her character is going to be showing up. Is it just going to be husband and wife getting back together for Christmas? Maybe it would be a little too sappy for my personal, taste. I hope there's going to be more to it than that. But I mean, Alex Kingston herself is a resounding actress. She is absolutely, just beautifully talented and, a looker to boot, And in that character, I mean, granted, maybe we've had one too many occasions where she's hello, sweetie, with the ear-to-ear grin and everything, and that whole personality. Would I love to see her, getting involved with Captain Jack and see those two bantering back and forth? Short of that, I would love to see that. But short of that, maybe dial that aspect back and play the relationship dynamic between she and the Doctor a little bit differently. That's all I ask. Otherwise, great, let's see it. I can't wait to see what they have in store for us. I hope it's an epic, brilliant Christmas special, and I'd rather think of it in that more positive light, rather than a negative connotation where people just moff at hate and everything, especially as somebody who is, I've been watching vividly, at the edge of my seat from Series 5 up to current, and I have enjoyed the majority of it. The few things, the quibbles I have, the complaints I have are very minor compared to how much of it I've enjoyed. And then I've also caught up on the entirety of the 3 seasons of Sherlock, which has just astounded the hell out of me. Some people would turn that around and say, well, Moffat, he's working on these 2 different shows. Maybe he's a little long-winded and each of them needs a little creative help. I've been right alongside you guys who have said that, and I've thought that myself, and, who knows what the future holds. People are already talking, well, maybe Jenna's going to step out. Frankly, I like her. I think she's a brilliant actress. I like the character. She's a good looker too. But that's not sort of, the fuel behind the fire of why I am sort of championing her staying on as long as she wants. I just like that character. I like what they've done with her in the last series. People were saying in, the latter half of Series 7, we didn't really get much of this character. We didn't really get to know her. I was right along with you guys saying that as well. I agreed with that sentiment. And when we got Series 8, I felt we got something much more grandiose and much more perspective on her character. And some people could take or leave the Danny Pink thing. Some people out and out hate him. I thought all of that was very, engaging and moving and intriguing, interesting, whatever you want to call it. And I'd be damned, I'd like to see him come back as Orson Pink, which is something the actor wants to do anyway, as talked about. Never know if it will. Suffice to say, in a nutshell, it's like, just enjoy what you get. Your bitching is not going to change what we get. You can just spend all your time negative and just bashing the hell out of Doctor Who if you want, or you can actually sort of sit back and enjoy that we have it in the first place. Look at how many years we had between the classic series ending and, episode 1 of series 1 with Eccleston and Billie Piper coming back. Look how many years it was gone. At least we have it. And who knows what they're going to do with River Song coming back. Who knows how we're going to, maybe it'll be a romantic little one-on-one dinner with hubby and wife. Wouldn't be my preference, but it could be awesome. It could be something completely different, unexpected. Who knows what the hell it's going to be. Just wait and see. It's like all these movies that are coming out. People are bitching about Batman v Superman. Oh, it's going to suck. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be this, that, and the other thing. Marvel versus DC. Oh, Ant-Man and Avengers, they sucked or they were awesome and then blah, blah, blah. Judging movies and TV shows and all this kind of stuff before you see one lick of frame of it. I don't consider looking at production photos and behind the scenes, stolen photos from people's mobile phones and mobile devices as really being that much bearing on what you're going to see in the end. And frankly, I prefer to be excited. In a nutshell, the whole point of the video is to say I prefer to be excited that Alex Kingston is coming back as River Song, and I am, tentatively excited to see how exactly they're going to tell this story, how it's going to be, involved, how that dynamic is going to play out between the 12th Doctor and her character. And there is some whispers that maybe Jenna might not even be there. And will that mean, her character's taking a break? Will it mean she's off doing something? Will she have left the show by then? Remains to be seen. I'm sure some people will be very happy that she does, if she does, when she does. But, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing more of her as well. So, otherwise, that's pretty much it for me on this. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought in reaction to River Song's coming back to Doctor Who officially. Were you, happy and surprised? Are you erring on the side of being glad about it, like I am? If not, why not? Let me know in the comments below. Love having the conversation with you guys, and we can frankly agree to disagree. If you think Moffat is the worst thing to happen to Doctor Who in the last couple of decades, and you want to see him ousted, let me know why. Just explain yourself a little bit. So, otherwise, that'll be pretty much it for me on this, as I say, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.